remember the Seinfeld episode called The Contest? It aired way back in 1992, and it was considered the best TV episode of all time. Well, according to TV Guide at any rate. So the show starts off with George and the rest of the gang sitting at Monk's restaurant. And George starts relaying the most embarrassing story imaginable. Now, as George tells it, he goes to his parents' home to return their car, and there's nobody home, or so he thought. While he's dropping the keys on the table, he sees a glamour magazine, and as he puts it, one thing leads to another, and the next thing he knew, his mother walked in on him. Oh, talk about embarrassment. So George shares this comic tragedy with Jerry, Elaine, and Kramer, and then at the end of the story, he vows, "I'm never doing that again." Well, Elaine jumps all over that declaration and asks, "What? You mean in your mother's house or all together?" To which George replies emphatically, "All together." Well, everybody immediately dismisses that by saying he'll never last. And so George looks at Jerry with a challenging look and asks, "Do you think you could?" And Jerry replies, "Well, I know that I could hold out longer than you." And then George, with a squint in his eye, challenges Jerry by saying, "Care to make it interesting?" And so the bet is on, which is, of course, a contest to see who can remain master of their domain by holding out the longest. Okay, that was great comedy. But let's segue into another form of mastery, and that is this. Are you master over your health, fitness, and general well-being? In other words, have you designed a healthy lifestyle that you actually enjoy living? Do you eat a reasonably healthy diet? Do you exercise regularly? Get sufficient sleep? Do you generally have control over your stress level? See, if you didn't answer yes to those questions, it's highly likely that you are not the master of the most important domain you have, your health. So why is it that we don't associate our health with mastery? Our health is the most valuable thing we own. And living a healthy lifestyle in our modern world, it's arguably one of the most difficult things we can do. And that's because we don't think of health and lifestyle that we actually need to learn to master. See, for some odd reason, we don't equate our health with the ability to master health. And I think that's why most people fail. They never manage to really understand what health mastery actually entails. See, here's the thing. Whenever you see mastery in action, you cannot help but notice that everything a master does is with purpose, confidence, minimal effort, and absolute certainty. And if you learn how to master your health, you will experience the very same thing. You know, the funniest part of the Seinfeld episode was that in spite of their best intentions, we all knew they had no chance of mastering that particular domain indefinitely. But here is the thing. When it comes to a lifetime of health mastery, our chances of long-term success are just as remote as domain mastery was for Jerry, George, Elaine, and Kramer, unless we actually learn how to master health. For example, think about the difference between someone learning to play the piano and someone who has mastered the instrument. Like the difference in effort, performance, and sound between a beginner and a master are night and day. It's the same with a master craftsman, a highly trained athlete, or a master of any other endeavor you can imagine. The master gets beautiful results with minimal effort. Well, believe it or not, the very same thing applies to health. I don't know why it is, but we seldom seem to consider our health to be something that needs to be mastered. And perhaps that's why most people fail to live healthy lives. We all want to be healthy, but very few people have the slightest clue on how to go about it. Consequently, they turn to diets, exercise programs, and any number of products and aids. And that's not to suggest that those things can't help, but on their own, without mastery, they just won't deliver the results. Because without an understanding of all the obstacles that will invariably trip us up, we will never overcome the all-powerful forces of habit and survivalist instincts that will derail our best intentions. So, when it comes to your health, mastery is absolutely critical. Because make no mistake, achieving a high degree of health in our modern world is not easy. Far from it. In fact, without real mastery, it may be close to impossible to live a healthy lifestyle and actually enjoy it. However, if you take the time to learn how to become a master of your health, you will dramatically improve your body composition, boost your energy levels, and reduce your levels of stress. And the best part is that it will require very little effort. Because by definition, that is what mastery is all about. Now, as far as mastering your domain, who cares? Hey, life is meant to be enjoyed. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.